Zwom doot 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 doot. BMO.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another BMO Creative crypto video. So this one is about the Tata Duende. The Tata Duende. This creature is called the Duende by Spanish speakers and the Duende by English-speaking people of the country of Belize, which is in the heart of the Tata Duende territory, as far as I can tell. People who still speak one of the many Maya dialects refer to the Duende as the Nukuxtat. The word duende in Spanish literally means elf or dwarf or demon. Kind of a range there for the word duende. So the Tata Duende means grandfather demon or grandfather elf. Very creepy, right? So this is a drawing I'm doing of the Tata Duende. I almost forgot to add some extra paper underneath it because I use Sharpies, and it will, like, the ink will go right through 3 or 4 sheets of perfectly good drawing paper if I don't do it, so I gotta add some paper here. But anyways, it is described as a short, hairy humanoid with backward-facing feet, once again, not really facing backwards, literally, but facing towards nature rather than technology, or facing towards the past instead of the future. That's what they mean by backwards-facing feet. Also, it's missing its thumbs, supposedly, and it could just be the way that they hold their hands, and is often seen or depicted wearing a sombrero or woven palm leaves or a pointy hat on their head. This 3 to 4 foot tall creature, like most other elves and fairies, is a trickster, perpetually engaged in mischief, and is seen as more of a mythical creature possessing magical powers. Often they have been described carrying a stick or a machete and wearing rags or animal skins or just really small clothing like a leprechaun. So I'm going to draw it with holding a machete. I think that's cooler than a walking stick. There are stories from people stating the Duende has both rescued lost people in the forest and kidnapped them, especially kids. This is why the Duende is still used to this day to scare children and keep them from playing too close to the woods or out in the woods all alone, and it is said that they could be kidnapped and held hostage at this point. They are also seen as being protectors of all animals in the jungle. Farmers blame the Duende for bad crops, as they have been witnessed getting some herbs and spices they collect in the woods, and they mix it together in a leather pouch with water, and then they throw this onto the ground. They splash it on the ground, damaging crops and plants and making the ground where it just won't grow anything. And they're known to do this especially on land that has recently been cut down jungle. So the Duende feel like you're taking their land and turning it into farm crops, so they kill the land. It amazes me that several places, Belize, Latin America, Philippines, all use the exact same name and the description of these beings. Also, that the Mayans had the name for them that also translates to Old Father Demon, which is that Nukuxtat. The darker side of these creatures is that they will cut off your thumbs and big toes if they catch you. This is not the first time I've heard of this, folks. Many tribes of humans and people in the past, all kinds of people, have been known for doing this in history to their captives. A good example is like Adonai Bezek in the Bible, Judges chapters 1, verse 7. And it's always for the same reasons, to subjugate and render captives harmless, especially warriors, as they could no longer hold tools or weapons or run very well. So, once again, based on the descriptions and photos I've seen, I think this is a group of people, a tribe of people maybe, that are possibly covered with hair, kind of like a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch or some of these other creatures. And they live in the jungle despite being stripped, or the jungle being stripped and taken away from them. The Mayans also had groups of people that were rejected after this god stopped being worshipped. The Buluk Chaptan was his name. Buluk Chaptan, he was a warrior god, and they were known to cut their thumbs off of their captives as well as their toes. But over time, the Mayans stopped worshiping Bullock Chaptan, but some people still did. So there was these little cults all in the jungle that would do this. Maybe that's where this legend comes from. The Mestizo and the Garifuna people are also possibilities. Their magic powers might not be as mystical as we think. Remember, just because they are primitive to us doesn't mean that they are primitive people. These jungle tribes know so much about the natural world that they may have doctor-level chemistry skills to know what plants to mix together to use for specific things, and can easily walk into the jungle 10 feet right in front of you and disappear without a trace. Or it's a scary elven creature of some kind. Who knows? You know, it could be. I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I mean, who knows? Especially the really tiny ones that I've seen in some videos that are like 8 to 10 inches tall that people are saying are Tata Duende. So yeah, if that's the case, who knows? But there is this odd saying in Belize, the Cheo de Dedos. Cheo de Dedos. Yeah, it means that you're full of fingers. So you have your fingers into too many things, and so it's hard for you to make up your mind. And the saying literally is that you need to cut off some of your fingers. So in other words, stop grabbing onto so many things that you can't make up your mind. The thumb, of course, is the primary finger used for gripping things. Without your thumb, it's really hard to get a grip on stuff unless you're doing pull-ups or something, I guess. And so maybe that's where the saying comes from. I don't know. It's just a creepy saying, though. On a side note, the country of Belize issued a postage stamp to this Tata Duende in their folklore series. So wow, I mean that's something, right? So what do you think the Tata Duende is? I don't know what it is. Leave a comment below. You tell me, what do you think it is? Anyways, that is going to do it for this one. Hope you liked it. Please go ahead and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.